All right, you guys, May 6th is my 5th workout back on this last prep. Big weekend coming up. We got the Pittsburgh Pro. Huge lineups are stacked in every class. Today we'll be going over my predictions for the Pittsburgh Pro. I'll be tracing back today, so let's get after it. My abs are sore too. I've been training my abs again. Something I did not do much of ever in my career. What's crazy is that I was thinking about doing the Pittsburgh this year. That was in the talks. I think it was after I went to Nationals in December, I talked to Tyler. He asked me if I wanted to do it. I told him I'd consider it. Just with the gym opening up, that was the biggest decision why I didn't do it, with all the traveling I had this year. And then with the gym opening, there's no way. I mean, there's absolutely no way I've been able to do a prep and be ready by next week. There'd have been no way. Nonetheless, I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna watch the stream of the show. Huge lineup. Pittsburgh's been hyped up big this year. I mean, it's always been one of the biggest shows besides Olympia, but this year, they've made it into a big expo. Each class in the men's division that I've been following is stacked up. Tons of great competition. The men's physique division is probably the best show we're gonna see until Olympia. But I was doing some homework last night and this morning. I took a few notes, actually. I'm gonna start with classic physique because I feel like this is the division that with like the least amount of big names competing. Still, it's a really exciting show. We have Terrence Ruffin, who hasn't competed in a while. I think he's a previous Arnold champ. The highest he's placed at Olympia was second, actually. But he took some time off and made some huge improvements. Personally, Terrence is probably top 3 favorite physiques in this whole entire world right now. Just super complete. Not a very big guy, but he looks huge. If you see his pictures, you never imagine that he's only like 5'5", 185 pounds. He looks like he's 240 in his pictures. I have him as my favorite winning this show, and it's tough to say that because we have Jose Manuel Munoz coming off a 6th place finish at his Olympia debut. He's coming into the Pittsburgh Pro with a lot of momentum. Again, I think he's only like 22 or 23 years old now, but some of the nastiest muscle density and conditioning that our sport has seen in years. I think it's gonna be a toss-up between him and Terrence, but I think Terrence has the edge just in overall shape and symmetry and flow to his physique. Terrence posing, hands down, is gonna be the best on that stage. I'm really excited to see what type of routine Terrence puts together. Probably the best poser, and him and Logan Franklin, which they got 2 different styles of posing, but Terrence, one of the best posers ever to live. We have Carlos de Oliveira, Kaiki, former fellow men's physique Olympian. It's crazy to say that I beat him in 2023 because the way he looks right now, switching to classic physique division, the improvements he's made the last 2 years are absolutely mind-blowing. I messaged Johnny Sebastian, his coach. He's a good friend of mine, lives like 2 hours from me. I talked to Johnny, I was like, dude, I gotta pick your brain and figure out what you've done with Kaiki in the last 2 years because he's a completely different person. There's a lot of excitement behind Carlos. I know all of Brazil's excited for him. I think the whole IFBB and NPC is excited for him because as a men's physique competitor, I always know how great his physique was and like how good he could be. And he wasn't able to be his best in men's physique division. He was too good for it. That reflected in his placings of never really being in the top 5 of Olympia. I think he's made top 10 a few times, but he's always just been a freak. And seeing him transition to classic physique, like this is where he belongs, this is where he's gonna flourish. I think it's gonna be a 3-man show with Terrence winning. I think 2nd and 3rd is gonna be interesting. I think Carlos is gonna be a good test for Jose, and Jose's gonna be a great test for Carlos. And I think they're gonna be battling for the 2nd and 3rd spot. We have the 2024 national champ, Zai Adonis. I actually saw him turn pro at Nationals last year. He's awesome. Great conditioning, great muscularity, a unique body structure, but it works for him. Packs a lot of muscle. He's like a former Division I football player. This guy's got a solid foundation. So I'm really interested to see how he's gonna do. And then we also have Anton, what's his last name? He's a 21-year-old classic prodigy. This is his pro debut. And doing a pro debut at the Pittsburgh Pro takes some balls for a 21-year-old. But judging by the way he looks, leading up to the show, like he's coming ready to battle. And it's crazy because this guy's so damn young. His muscle maturity, his density, his separation, his flow, his physique is incredible. It's gonna be interesting to see how he's gonna stack up against the top guys in this division, given being so young. I mean, Anton's only gonna keep getting better from this point on. This is his first pro show. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him slip into that top 5. And if he did that, that would be a huge accomplishment, and that'll be somebody to be keeping your eyes on in the near future because that, mark my words, if he does well at this show, this is gonna put him on a clear trajectory to the top of this division. That's my summary for classic physique. There's another handful of competitors. To be honest with you guys, I'm not familiar with a lot of the names, but I did go through the list and look. A lot of these guys look amazing, but I think I have my top 4, top 5 nailed down right there. So moving on to the open bodybuilding division, I think this is a really exciting show for the open bodybuilding division. Got some really big names competing. Former Mr. Olympia, current Arnold champ Derek Lunsford coming to make a statement that he's ready to take his title back here in October. Fresh off beating the current Olympia champion at the Arnold. He's got his work cut out for him. 4th place finisher from Olympia, Martin Fitzwater, coming out to show that he can beat Derek and be a contender for the Olympia title this year. We also have Nick Walker coming back after a few years. We're really excited to see what Nick brings to the stage this year. He's looking like he's actually streamlining his physique some. Made his waist a little tighter. Conditioning's always on point. It's gonna be interesting to see him on stage after a few years against Derek and Martin. Last time Martin and Nick competed against each other, I think Nick beat him by 1 point. It was arguable. So this is gonna be a good foreshadowing of what we're gonna see at Olympia in October. We also have Michael Krisso from, I think he's from Russia. Michael Krisso is the former IFBB Pro Elite World Champion. Transitioned over to the IFBB a few years ago. I think he was top 10 at Olympia. From all his videos, this guy's an absolute freak. Crazy conditioning, crazy muscularity. If you were to just go off Instagram pictures and videos, you might have this guy be one of the favorites going in. But I don't think I think my top 3 are still nailed down to Derek, Martin, and Nick. I think Krisso coming in at 4th. We also have Good Vito from Brazil competing. And from his pictures, he's another guy that looks absolutely freaky in his photos online. His previous showing, I don't think it transpired as much as we think we saw on Instagram. But if he made the improvements and his physique matches what we've been seeing in the content leading up, I think he's somebody that can push into that top 2 spot. Can't forget, we have the conqueror, William Buendia. He's also competing. William is just full, round, dense, always conditioned. You know, if any of these guys coming off, we know Boniak's not going to, and he can definitely sneak into that, 3rd or 4th spot. I think that's my top 6 right there. Positions 4 through 6, I feel could be in any order. 1 through 3, I got Derek. They're both my boys, but I think Nick's coming back with vengeance. He's gonna grab that 2nd spot, push Derek. I think I got Martin in 3rd, and that's tough to say because I really like Martin's physique and his flow, but I think Nick is just, he has something to prove this show, and he has to show up. He really does. I think it's with that mentality, he shows up looking his all-time best. He might have a chance of winning this show. Oh, I didn't mix anything in here. I'm taking 10 grams of creatine a day. So 5 in the morning, 5 intra, and some in the pre-workout also. I remember going to the Max Muscle with my dad and my older brother. My dad was trying to get my brother bigger for football, and he got creatine, a mass gainer, and I forgot some sort of pre-workout or something, but I always remember my mom was always like, oh, the boys shouldn't be on creatine. And a lot of people feel that way, that creatine isn't good for them. I know a lot of parents think that creatine is something that teenagers should be on. Well, studies recently have shown that this is actually very, very good for you in more ways than one, not just physically, but also mentally. Helps with cognitive function in youth as well as seniors. Whether you guys are a beginner, intermediate, advanced, if you're older, creatine is a must-have. Do a simple Google search, check out the recent studies on this stuff, and I know it'll sell you on why you guys need to take it. GAP's got a great creatine monohydrate. Check it out. All right, men's physique. It's gonna be the most exciting show of the year. We thought the Arnold was exciting. This show was, Ali was gonna do the show. He dropped out a few weeks ago, which I understand. I don't blame him for doing that. He's gonna be a front runner for the Olympia title. He should wait to face Brandon and Aaron again at the Olympia. No need to do a preview right now. He's already got his momentum going in. So it's smart for him to rest, let his body recover, so he comes in fresh and crisp for Olympia. So I understand the move on his behalf. With that being said, the 3-time champ Brandon Hendrickson is coming back to the stage after 1 year off. Coming back with a vengeance. He had his work cut out for him, being 8 weeks out from Pittsburgh, and me and him have been staying in touch during this prep, and I've seen his confidence slowly build. I think he messaged me like 3 or 4 weeks out, and he sent me a progress video and asked me my opinion, because he had a little bit of doubt in his mind. And I reminded him what he accomplished in that 4 weeks since I had seen him last. If he was able to stay on that same trajectory to the Pittsburgh Pro, he would have no issue coming in at his all-time best. And as we've seen from his recent updates, that's proven true. He's coming in, I think, at his all-time best. He's putting in the work, and it's been fun to watch him rise against the doubt, coming back to the stage with a vengeance. And it's not gonna be a walk in the park for him. He's got Aaron Banks is gonna be on stage with him. Aaron's been kind of flying under the shadows, which leads me to expect to see something different from him this show. Beforehand, Aaron would always be very outspoken and he kind of knew what to expect seeing him on stage, but there's a little bit of a mystery this time around. It's a matter of, is he gonna be better than last time? And is it enough to beat Brandon? So last time Brandon did beat Aaron on stage. Aaron got third, Brandon got second. So I know Aaron wants to come back and beat Brandon to show who really is the better men's physique competitor, even though he still needs two.
All of it, still need a couple more.
Brandon's still the second best of you guys. Vitor Chavez, I think he's going to be in the mix. Based off this lineup, I think it's going to be a top two between Aaron and Brandon. I think that's going to be who's fighting for that top spot. 3, 4, and 5, I think is going to be Vitor, Edvin, and Ryan Clark. I think those are the three guys that I think are going to be battling for those positions. Carlos Orkin, I think he's from China. The judges seem to like him. He was at Olympia last year. He's won a few pro shows. A different physique. He's very well developed, but he's got really long arms, and I think it kind of throws things off for me a little bit. But other than that, he's got a really nice physique on him. Victor Ramirez, he's coming in. That guy is very impressive. Like for me, I think he could easily switch to class physique, just to base how round his muscle bellies are, and the physique is a little more stocky. Very beautiful physique, nice flow-loose physique. He's a little bit wider waist than some of these guys, but he's definitely somebody that can come in that top 5 if he comes in on point and any of these other guys are slipping. Riccardo Croce coming in from Italy. That guy, I don't understand how he makes weight and how he's in the men's physique division. The guy's physique is absolutely insane, but he's huge. He's huge. I just don't understand how he makes weight. Like, I'm overweight for my weight class. We're like the same height. I just don't get how we weigh the same when he's so damn big. It doesn't add up. The guy with the great physique, I would want to look like him. I just don't know if it's going to fit the physique criteria with these other top tier guys in the lineup. He just might look too bulky for this lineup. Those are my top 8. I think Brandon's going to steal the win this time. Not steal, I think Brandon's going to earn the win this time. He's going to defeat Aaron Banks. Aaron's going to take second. Vitor and Edvin Palmero, I think they're going to be a 3-4. It's going to depend on what the judges are looking for. I think Ryan Clark's going to sneak into that 5th spot. Victor Ramirez is going to come in that 6th spot. So that's my rounding out for the Pittsburgh Pro Men Division predictions. It's going to be an amazing show. I'm excited to watch it. And it's going to be interesting to see how this men's physique division plays out and how it's going to set up the rest of the shows leading up to Olympia this year. The New York Pro is right after this. Bound to be a competitive one. I saw Andre Dayu posted that he's going to be competing at the New York Pro. This is going to add even more excitement to it, bringing an elite guy, a well-known guy like Andre back to the stage after I don't know how many years, been at least probably 3 years since he competed. He's completely rebuilt his physique. I think he's even better than ever. But it's gonna be a fun year, you guys. My last year competing. It's gonna be fun to share the experience with you. It's gonna bring a lot of hype, and all the other competitors are bringing a lot of hype as well, and I'm just excited to see how this plays out. I'm really excited to do this prep at my home gym here in Roseville, Stoic Gym. We're so close to the grand opening, you guys. Probably about 6 weeks out right now. And I think there's going to be a whole bunch of momentum that I'm going to be able to generate from training out of that gym. I know a lot of people are planning on coming out and visiting me and training with me during this prep, and that's going to provide a lot of motivation in its own. So we're excited to share this last dance with you guys, and we're going to try and document as much as possible. I was telling Sanjay yesterday, we need to keep the cameras rolling during the good times and bad, because this is going to be the last one, and I just want to take in all the emotions, good and bad, and be able to look back on it and kind of reminisce the amazing career I have had, and also to pretty much like kick off this next chapter of my life off the stage, which I'm, if not even more excited in competing. So let's finish up this back workout. We got 22 weeks till my last Olympia. We're not gonna leave anything on the table. I've been only on 100 milligrams of TRT the past like 7-8 weeks. It was after my Brandon workout, I got off everything. And I wasn't even running a lot then. Just wanted to get my body cleaned up and healthy, start prep. I got blood work scheduled later on this week through Transcend. I'll get my results back next week, make sure everything's on track, and then we'll hit the gas on prep, start throwing in some additional compounds. I'm not gonna go crazy because I don't need to pack on a lot of weight. I'm already woke up at 196 this morning, went to bed at 200 pounds. Improving my body composition right now. Working on getting more meals in, more calories in. My goal is to get over 5,000 calories while I'm getting leaner and while I'm not gaining any more weight. That way I know where my baseline is. My baseline's at 5,000 calories. I'm gonna be able to diet down on my Olympia prep, starting at like 4,200 calories, and I'll start dropping weight on that. So by the time I get to like a month out, I'll be at like 2,600, 2,700 calories. Whereas a lot of other guys that don't do that reverse dieting in their off season, they get their peak caloric intake to like 3,800. By the time they get to a month out, they're eating 1,600 calories a day. It's impossible to hold on to muscle mass when you're eating that little. Your energy's gonna be plummeted. Your body's gonna be feeding off of itself. That's why I like to get my metabolism as high as possible in the off season, so I'm able to diet down on more food. I keep my protein intake higher, I keep my carb intake higher, my body stays more efficient, my energy levels are better, and I'm able to pack on muscle as I'm dropping weight. All right, guys, that's a wrap for today's back workout. We're over the 2025 Pittsburgh Pro predictions. It's gonna be an amazing show out there this weekend. I wish I could be out there. I want to wish all the competitors good luck. I'm excited to see how the placings play out. As I mentioned, you guys, I have started my final Olympia prep. This is actually my 5th workout back, and we'll be documenting this entire prep for the next 22 weeks till my last Olympia here in 2025. Back in Las Vegas this year, where I started my career, where I ended my career. I can't wait to finally be out there in the desert, competing against the best in the world. And it's gonna be memorable, you guys. And one last dance. Hope you guys enjoy it. See you next time.
Did you get sparkling water at the gym?
Yeah, bro. Came back from Europe. I'm a changed man. It's got me off of diet soda. My daughter was on my case. Every time I drink a soda, she'd come up and give me a glass of water. And Daddy, don't drink any more soda. It's bad for you. So we compromised. I got soda water.